What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Let's break down this Sunday, March 10th NBA slate coming at you hot, live with a little bit of a time change. Sorry, the video's out an hour earlier, shaking off some midnight oil from last night's UFC 299. But we are back getting you guys the picks every single day, talking sports betting on this channel. So make sure you guys are all subscribed down below. Smash that like button as well. And if you guys have not yet subscribed, this is a perfect time to subscribe, because what's going to happen is we're doing our channel giveaway, okay? And this is one where we've been on kind of a hot streak lately, but this is one where we're even getting even hotter. We're going to be giving away a free jersey courtesy of fanatics.com, shipped directly to one lucky subscriber. My March Madness giveaway, we just hit 1,000 plus subscribers. It's a thanks to you guys for being part of the channel. And what we're going to do is, all you got to do is click the subscribe button down below, then click my link that's pinned in this YouTube video. It'll take you over to my page on X, and this pinned comment here, share it with a few friends, heart it, as well as following me on X, and that will get you guys entered into the Fanatics giveaway, a jersey of your choice, within reason, of course, shipped directly to your house. So right now, it's a low pool. You got a very good chance of winning yourself a jersey, and that's one of what one lucky fan will absolutely do come the randomization that we're going to do right before the March Madness tournament kicks off. So more details to come, but guys, get entered into this contest, okay? But yesterday, we just want to recap yesterday's plays. That's one where we had the only loss of the day was with Golden State getting blown out, but they tried coming back despite missing Steph Curry. I thought that's one where they were going to be able to get the job done, okay? But we were able to cash the Luka Doncic triple-double plus money. That's one where within that contest, he's keeping the streak alive. Never bet against a streak to end, and yesterday was no different, because these guys, they start going for it, right? We saw him there when he had 9 rebounds, 9 assists, and he ended up with 10 and 10 to go along with 30, almost 40 points in that game. So Luka, clear-cut, one of the most beasts in the game. He's a dog. He's a force, and truly should be considered. I think if the Mavericks were a better overall seed for the Western Conference, he definitely would get that better best player, better on the best team consideration that SGA and the likes of Jokic are getting in that West Conference. But enough with that. And then we were able to close out the Celtics, outlasting the Phoenix Suns on the road, covering that -5.5 number, where we got the Jaylen Brown news. It was all good in that direction. So great day in college, great day in NBA. We're going to keep the wins going. A lot of positive days, stacking these wins. That's what we all want to do. Cash tickets, and over the course of a betting season, this is one where you really start to see those units add up. So quit parlaying. I know it. I know it's an age-old saying, and if you're able to get in some winning parlays over the weekend, that's going to be awesome. It's always a great story. Feel free to drop them down below on my X page as well. I always like to see your guys' big wins. But this is one where we had a lot of indications within college basketball, and it's something where, you come real close and you get 4 out of 5, it ruins your day. So over the course of the time, I know it's a grind, I know it's not sexy, but that's what gets the job done and really keeps that bankroll healthy and in a good direction, okay? But first, let's get into the slate. Let's break it all down. I'm going to go over each and every game and give you guys my leans along the way, and then my official plays that we're going to be locking in, okay? And this is one where it's no exception. Milwaukee going on the road, facing the Clippers. This will be my first official play in this contest. The line has crept up. We saw 2.5s out there. This is one where I'm going to get it while it's hot. All right, I like what Doc Rivers has done in Milwaukee. The Bucks, basically these teams 41-23, 41-21. One where we look at it from a side and total perspective, I'm going to be backing the Bucks -3.5 on the road. The Clippers had a little bit of a late one with Kawhi Leonard and Paul George going basically almost 40 minutes both respectively. So I'm going to be basically going off the narrative that one of them or both of them might be out, but it's a primetime matchup, early tip, 3 p.m. Eastern, where I'm going to be taking the Milwaukee Bucks -3.5. I do worry about a little bit of a rest issue within Milwaukee, but hopefully the time change kept these guys in bed long enough, because we saw the Clippers. We saw this happen from time and time again, right? Milwaukee, they're in the cold. They go out west. They go on to the state of California, especially a city like LA, have a little bit too much fun on that Saturday night. So obviously the total reflects a little bit of that side action, if you will. 226, a little bit lower in this contest. So would lean towards the under, but I'm going to be taking the Bucks -3. You can find out their Bet Rivers right now as it's readily available. Okay. Next, we're going to go out and back to the well. So we're going to be back to back with official plays in this video, right? This is one where we see kind of a good old faithful, right? Orlando Magic covering at home. We're going to be taking the Magic. You can find a 1.5 out there on DraftKings and MGM. So that's going to be a little bit more of a value play where the Magic, guys, 41-22 against the spread. Now, I know that's not going to do anything for us in winning this game, but what's going to do something for us in that direction is going back to the well, Old Faithful, getting the brakes blown off of them when they went on the road to Madison Square Garden, having a day of rest, so on and so forth, where we got from that Friday blowout where the Knicks just completely dismantled them. I mean, geez, oh man, I don't know. We were on the Magic in that game. The Magic are one of the best road cover teams in the NBA, but that's one where I'm going to be backing the Magic in a get-right spot. Great cover team, Indiana. Love the Pacers, truly do. I love the way that they can score in bunches, but I'm going to be taking some value within the Orlando Magic, -1.5 at home, possibly even a money line. If you can find it out there, -125, something where I'm not opposed to laying, okay? I don't want them winning by 1. So if you can find a cheap enough money line out there, definitely do not be shy in that regard. So those are my 2 plays that we're going to be locking in right off the bat, right off the schedule, just 2 of them coming in hot. All right, and then we're going to get into the likes of the Houston Rockets, Sacramento Kings. The Rockets have been a very sneaky good cover team, 4-0-1 in their last 5. One where we look at the Rockets getting 6.5. I would be leaning towards taking that 6.5, but De'Aaron Fox and company, a very, very big force. Look at the Scotty Barnes numbers. If he's able to do well within the rebounding props, that's always a good one as well. But we're going to be taking a no play in this contest. This is just one where look at Rockets, kind of hot off a stretch. Sacramento at home. It's just kind of not something I'm looking to get behind. Okay, I can see the Rockets winning outright personally in this game, but it would not surprise me if the Kings win by 10 plus. Okay, so that's a no play. But I wanted to break down my lean, and I would have an actual lean towards the over, but that number's gotten out of control as well. So we're going to be fading that 233 at this moment. Okay, next we're going to go into South Beach, right? This is where the Washington Wizards catching a huge number. We're talking 10.5, 11 points in Miami, okay? That's exactly where the UFC 299 was last night. I wonder how many guys were out there participating in those festivities. I know one thing, if I was a 10-53 ball club such as the Washington Wizards and making millions of dollars, I can tell you one thing, I would not be staying in on curfew, and I would be out and about getting in with the celebrities, probably attending the fight, definitely watching it, and don't think for a second that stuff does not go on in the NBA, and one where I don't think you can really truly handicap that, but this is one where I see the Heat. I personally think the Heat are going to win by an extreme margin due to that fact. I think the Wizards I would expect them to be a little less disciplined in that regard. I would expect Spoelstra, being the class coach that he is going to have his boys ready to play when they need this win for seeding. So I think that's an angle that you got to be looking at, over under 229. So that implies that the Washington team total would be very low. So maybe take the under in Washington's team total. But I truly think Washington's just going to play no defense, out late partying, South Beach. Definitely something, especially with a 6 p.m. slate. People think that they're going to be able to sleep it off and come back the next day. Well, the NBA athletes out there are in a class in themselves. So I definitely see an angle with taking Miami, covering that 10.5 if you can find it out there. But that's one where it's just a sole play on this fact of South Beach. It happens. It's real. And don't think for a second it's not and be naive. And especially when you're a 10-53 team shooting for the lottery, you're really not. You're not going to encourage it, but I think you might turn a blind eye, even from the coaches out there. It's just something where I look at this Washington Wizards team. I'd be curious to know when they actually got into town. But we're going to be shooting that. Not an official play, but I just wanted to share with you guys how I would lean in that scenario. Okay, and then next, we're going to go out to Atlanta, the Hawks. This is one where we're going to get behind the New Orleans Pelicans. And in this contest, this is something very important to understand. Within the Pelicans in this game, you have to look at this number, okay? And it's one where it's kind of gotten out of control, okay? Opening at -4. This is one where you see some news come along, and now we're seeing -8. So Atlanta is having a lot of questionable people out there. Dejounte Murray's questionable, Lundy, Jalen Johnson, and a couple people are out. Okongwu, Buffkin, as well as Trae Young being out and out. So I'm going to look, and I'm going to take that -7 that I'm currently seeing. I know it's the worst of the number, but I think New Orleans gets it done with margin, especially if Dejounte Murray can't go. This is going to be an absolute blowout. So Bet Rivers offering 7. We see 7.5 from MGM. So lock it in, -7 with Atlanta in this game, okay? Next, New York, Madison Square Garden. This is a classic matchup. Philadelphia traveling just that short trek to play the New York Knicks. And we look at this game, guys, it's something where I don't want any of these teams, right? We saw the Knicks dismantle the likes of the Orlando Magic at home, but it's one where nothing really about this stands out to me. I think the 7 is just kind of where it needs to be. The total is low, 210. Not going to get on board with that. In Philadelphia, we all know what they're doing. They're missing their guys. And it's going to be a story probably to close out the regular season where they're going to try to get right. But right here in this spot, this is a definite no play for me. I could see Philadelphia winning miraculously because the Knicks have been known to do that in their own right. But with the way Philadelphia's roster is currently constructed, it's not a team that I'm looking to get on board with in any shape, form, or fashion. Okay. Next, Memphis going on the road playing Oklahoma City Thunder. Too big of a number, 15. Oklahoma City has burnt me in some of these double-digit spreads where you get behind the favorite, and it's one where Memphis 15 on the road, I'm not on board with it. They can cover, they can win, and they can absolutely lose by 30. So it's just a no play for me solely on the fact that it's too big of a number. There's better options out there. We don't have to bet the entire board. Keep that in mind when you're betting NBA or anything with multiple contests in one day. I know you think you can do it all. You can go 7 out of 10, 6 out of 10. I know you guys can do it. I know you've done it. But over the course of our season in this grind, just don't bet the games because they're out there. Volume betting will never prevail. You have one bad day and you're going to be set back units for a long, extended period of time. Only bet the ones that you're confident in and make those your actual plays. Okay. 2 more games to talk about. Cleveland hosting the Brooklyn Nets. Brooklyn Nets, guys, they are still on my no-play list. They are on the no-fly list completely within the NBA. Despite the Cavaliers missing some of their key guys, it's one where they're 7-point favorites at home. Cavaliers have been that team where they have been that hometown team for me at times and getting the job done, but I'm not doing it. I can't touch the Nets for or against, despite how much I would love to back the fact that the Cavaliers win by 10. I'd love that. If you told me that straight up, I'd be on board with it, but it's a 50-50 game. It's a coin flip. And we look at the likes of the Brooklyn Nets losing to Charlotte, losing to Detroit in close battles, beating Philadelphia closely, losing to Memphis, losing to Atlanta. Those are just 5 horrible performances, whether or not they got the win or not. And then we talk about Cleveland beating Minnesota 113-104 at home, and then losing to Atlanta themselves, beating Boston, losing to the Knicks by 9, and beating Detroit. So, yeah, it all points to Cavs covering this 7, but this is why you have to be disciplined in sports gambling. As much as I'd love to take the Cavs win by 10, despite their roster concerns, Brooklyn's on my no-bet zone. Okay, they're on my no-fly list, and we're not going to be taking this game for or against. Okay, and then lastly, to conclude, all right, let's get into it. The probably primetime game, if we can get full health in this contest, Minnesota at the Lakers. Okay, guarantee you, LA was hot last night. People were out and about. The Lakers are a 1-point favorite. This number has not moved an inch, has not budged. People are all about the Minnesota Timberwolves. We're seeing some early money flow in on that, despite Karl-Anthony Towns being out. But as always, LeBron James continues his streak of having that questionable tag for pretty much every game this season. LeBron James, I think, has been questionable. So there it is, front and center. But with the likes of him, Anthony Davis, both questionable. Whether or not one of them plays, that's why it's so hard to bet these West Coast games, because you want to lock it in early. You want to get the better of the number. We want to get Minnesota in that situation if the Lakers can't suit up their best guys. But it's one where I don't think it's going to happen. We're not going to get that news till later on. So this will be one where you're going to have to check back on the video, because if I end up betting the Minnesota Timberwolves, it will be kind of a last-minute situation. But I would lean Timberwolves because I think some of the Lakers won't play. It is a Sunday. It's a day of rest. Out late last night watching like the UFC, like I said, that stuff goes on in LA too. So it's one where with the time change, I could definitely see a little bit of a mismatch and something where Minnesota gets the job done with ease. As long as Edwards can go, despite them not having Cat and I really want to know the Lakers injury report. So that's why it's so important to be subscribed to me on Twitter as well, X, whatever you want to call it. Follow me on there because when we get that news, I'm going to be locking into play. And if I get news like that, it's a lot easier just to get a notification on your phone saying, oh, the better mark locked in, Minnesota -1. So that's what I got going on for you guys in the association. Remember to hop over to my X page, though, mind you, and participate in that March Madness jersey giveaway because time is running out. And who watching this video does not want to win a free jersey of their choice? Great giveaway, great contest as we kick off the March Madness festivities. But thank you guys. Crossed over 1,000 subscribers. Couldn't do it without you all. Appreciate each and every one of you. I hope you guys had a great weekend. I hope you guys were able to cash some tickets yesterday. Keeping this streak alive in both avenues, NBA and college basketball. Kind of been hot lately, and it's one where you got to stay disciplined, you got to stay level-headed, stay humble, because we all know what can happen on a flick of a switch if within sports gambling, where things start going your way, and then boom, you can have a little bit of a cold streak. It happens to everybody. It's natural. We're all human. But that's what I wanted to give you guys in this video. Enjoy the rest of the weekend. Let's go cash some tickets. Remember to subscribe down below, and I'll see you guys all tomorrow. Cheers.